Good afternoon, all. This is Chris Schultz and Gary Hoff, the Friday Night Victors podcast. This is our 2019 edition. This is episode 6. Good afternoon, Gary. How's it going?
It's going good. Beautiful Monday outside. It's going to get hot, though.
I didn't know that.
Going to get a little bit warm. Practices are going to heat up.
How are we looking for games on Friday?
There's a chance of thunderstorms, rain.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly during game time, I don't know. But according to my phone, could be rain.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's no fun. Glad I'm going to a game on Saturday night then, I guess. Well, hey, we're going to do a wrap-up of the games from week 2. We're going to talk about the games. We're also going to lead off with our power rankings. This is a composition of what myself, Gary, and then Frank Vajner came up with, and we'll reveal those, number 10 through number 1, talk about the teams a little bit, and then we'll go into the results. But why don't we talk about our sponsors real quick, if you would, Gary?
Yeah, we missed a few last time on our podcast, but let's make sure we get them. Joe and Peg Bellino.
Yes.
Great supporters of high school football all around. Of course, Joe, they own Broadway Market, and of course, Joe is a state representative here in Michigan. So thank you, Joe and Peg Bellino. Varsity Athletic, Randy Wyndham. They're obviously big supporter of athletics.
Sure.
And embroidery, whatever you got, uniforms, go check out Varsity Athletics. They'll hook you up. Level Up Training, John Carabino off Stewart Road there. Go check him out for, you want to enhance your ability to do anything athletically, he's the guy to go see. Little Vinny's in Newport. Dollar Mondays today, right now. I think you can go right now as we're taping this and go get yourself a chili dog for
maybe I'll zing out
$1.
Afterward.
Yeah.
I should do that.
And what else we got here? We go back.
You got Gerwick Nissan.
Gerwick Nissan, been with us now for 3 years.
He is one of our main sponsors.
Main sponsors, thank you, John. Actually, I have a Nissan myself from John. Very happy with it. Going to renew here very, very soon. Mike Murphy.
He's a painter?
Yeah, he's a painter. You need your house painted, your door painted, your garage painted, or whatever the heck it is. Call Mike Murphy. His number's on the website. JJ Sports Video. Thank you very much, Jared Jansen. He does a lot of highlight videos for athletes, individual athletes, and for teams, maybe to get them noticed at the next level. Tapes a lot of varsity, junior varsity.
He's all over the place. He films a lot of stuff. He also takes video that maybe you have from your Huddle app, and he can put that into a nice highlight film for you. So he does a really, really nice job. Another big supporter of high school sports. Yeah,
has camera, will travel. And Cakes by Stephanie, a new sponsor this year, like JJ. On Monroe Street there by Tiffany's. Go get yourself a cake by Stephanie. Cupcake, pie, whatever, they're delicious.
And in case you didn't know, that is Alex Morgan's parents.
You found that out last week.
I did.
Somehow,
So
but yes.
I remembered. So anyways, that's our sponsors. Thank you to all of them. We appreciate your support.
We absolutely do.
All right, well, let's dive into, would this be week 2 power rankings or week 3?
I don't know. Let's see. Probably week 3.
I guess we're in.
You do one before.
Yeah,
well, you
had
preseason.
And then we had a...
You do then week 1 and week 2. This is week 2.
All right,
we'll call it week 2.
Power rankings, and like I said, we did a little vote on this and then tallied them up. And so coming in at number 10 is 1-1 Flat Rock. They beat Jefferson last week after losing a heartbreaker in overtime to Redford Thurston in week 1. Gary, any thoughts on that? Or
I didn't have Flat Rock in mind, I want to be honest. They were, if I would have thought about it more, I probably would have put them 10th. For me, these things are a resume.
Sure.
And my phone is, it's just a resume. Flat Rock's resume, beat Jefferson. They were up on a pretty big 28-0, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Ravion Davis had a big game. Yeah, Flat Rock, sure.
Okay.
They could climb. They're capable.
Yep. Sure. So they come in at number 10. Number 9, also at 1-1, is the Ida Blue Streaks. They lost a game in week 1 to Airport, and then came back, kind of a come from behind victory against Lake Fenton.
Yeah.
So thoughts there? You think number 9 is a good spot for them?
I think that's a good spot for Ida. Absolutely.
Okay, coming in next in 8th is 1-1 Whiteford.
Yeah.
Had the loss in week 1 to Blissfield, but came back against Stryker, Ohio.
Yeah.
I think this is a team that we're not really sure where to put at this point, but they are Whiteford.
Will they be here next week? They can get a big game this week.
That's a good question.
Big game this week, so we'll see. Yeah, but you normally don't see Whiteford down at 8, but yeah, this year 8.
Oh, okay, next is number 7, the 1-1 Airport Jets. Thoughts on this?
I saw Airport up close and personal. Good football team. Yeah, they're going to beat you. They're going to I don't know.
You better come to play if you play.
You come
Jets.
to play. They'll come to beat you. So I was impressed. I was impressed with Airport.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. All right, number 6, the 2-0 Eagles of Erie Mason. Thoughts on the high-flying, high-scoring Mason Eagles?
Well, they got to be fun to watch. I'll tell you that much. You better bring a lunch when you come watch them play because you're going to be there for about 4 hours. You're going to be there for about 4 hours. Yeah.
I don't know if I can sit there that long.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
huge game this week.
Yeah, we'll.
They're going to get tested.
Yeah, they will get tested, and we'll talk about that on our video picks coming out on Wednesday. I think those come out. So, all right, let's go to number 5 down on the border is the 1-1 Bedford Kicking Mules. They had a nice come-from-behind victory this week after not playing so well in week 1.
Yeah, good bounce back.
Yeah, good bounce back.
What week 1 to week 2, there was a lot of improvement there.
Next up at number 4, we have 1-1 Carlson. The Marauders had a week 1 victory and then went down to Woodhaven in a battle of what should be 2 of the top teams in the Downriver League, and came up on the short end of the stick to the Warriors.
A little surprising they lost by as much as they did, but
they closed the gap. But it was
a lot of youngsters. Yeah. Jack Jarman was quoting and saying they got a lot of young kids playing, so understandable.
Okay. Yep. Number 3, the 2-0 Milam Big Reds.
Yeah, good football team. I picked them to go 5-4. I probably should have picked them 6-3, but they'll probably be better than that. But yeah,
I think that's a good spot for them.
Yeah, sure. It's 3. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Next up, number 2 at 2-0 as well. They also garnered 1 first-place vote. That was St. Mary Catholic Central.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. They fall somewhere in there. Big game this week, so 2 or 3 is going to move up. We'll see which one does.
Right.
Yep.
And then our number 1 team in the power rankings thus far, by virtue of their 2-0 record, they garnered 2 of the first place votes, and that is the Riverview Pirates.
You saw them, right?
I saw them last week. They are big, they are fast, they're strong, they're deep.
Yeah.
They're kind of young.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary what Riverview's building over there.
Yep.
Super impressed with them. 28-0 victory over the Chiefs of Huron. It was, I think, 20-0 at halftime, and they kind of just did what they wanted in that tee offense. Their defense was very physical. Huron kind of sniffed the goal line late in the third quarter, but other than that, there wasn't much offense generated by the Chiefs, and that was because of the defense of the Riverview Pirates. So there you have it, our power rankings. Once again, that's a compilation of what myself, Gary, and Frank Vaginer put together. So with that, let's dive into our results from last week. We had the Woodhaven Warriors beat Gibraltar Carlson 37-22. Carlson fell to 1-1 on the season. You touched on that a little bit.
Yeah.
I picked Carlson there. You picked Woodhaven.
Yep.
Because Carlson had the long trip
right,
over.
The trip over.
And it was a good pick on your part. So
I didn't think so, but in the end, apparently it was.
Yeah, apparently it was. All right, we just talked about this one as well. 2-0, or Riverview moved to 2-0 by virtue of their 28-0 win over New Boston Huron. Jamari Moultrie had 164 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game.
Riverview's pretty scary. I think they can really make a mark this year in the playoffs. I know, we're a long way from the playoffs, but
I expect a lot from this year.
I'm pretty excited about Riverview.
They're really, really good.
They look like a year-round league champ, that's for sure.
Next up on our list was just a crazy score. The Dundee Vikings, even their record at 1-1, they scored 74 points and beat Stockbridge, who had 30. They were led by Blaze McBee's 171 yards rushing. That's just a lot of points.
It seems like Dundee does this once a game every year. Don't they just put an absurd amount of points up?
Yeah.
The defense can't stop them, and they can't stop themselves, and they just go crazy and score every play, it seems like. So
yeah, that was, that's just 74 points.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Huge output there from the Vikings. LCAA starts this week. So
it does, yeah. They always start in week 3.
Here we go.
Our next game was the Flat Rock Rams, even their record at 1-1 by virtue of their 28-12 victory over the Jefferson Bears. Ravion Davis ran for 86 yards and threw for 145 yards. His number one target was Karan Clayton. He hauled in 4 passes for 123 yards. I don't know if this game was really as close as the score.
Probably not. I think Jefferson scored a couple late touchdowns by Jano. I think at the quarterback position he threw a couple, but yeah, Flat Rock's a good team. They're scary. They're like Airport. They can beat you. So.
Yes, and Flat Rock's just got to kind of learn to win the close ones.
That's right.
Next, we had Bedford, even their record at 1-1 on a come-from-behind victory, 20-19 victory over Flushing. They were down 19-7 in this game and battled back. You had taken the Kicking Mules. I had taken Flushing.
Yeah.
And I guess it was a pick'em game, so it really came down to a pick'em score of 20-19.
Yeah.
So, but it was good to see Bedford bounce back there.
I think Bedford, that's a playoff. 0-2, we said they don't make the playoffs. We said the same thing about Dundee. Bedford goes 0-2, they don't make the playoffs.
Right.
That they had to win. Both Dundee and Bedford won, and I think now their season, now they can go either way now.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. All right, next up was kind of a disappointing game over at, is that Bunkelman Field?
Yes.
At Monroe High, the Trojans fall to 0-2. They lost to Fenton 38-7. We knew Fenton was a good program. We talked about their 13 consecutive playoff appearances.
Yep.
Monroe was up 7-0 in this game early and then gave up 38 unanswered. Not a good place for the Trojans to be right now at 0-2.
Right. They gotta start putting some things together, getting some things figured out in practice. That's for sure. But yeah, Fenton's a great team. You don't make 13 in a row. Doesn't matter what league you're in. You're ready year after year for 13 years.
That's a really, really good program.
That's an impressive feat. And well, we'll see what the Trojans are made of now. So it's put up or shut up for Monroe, and I think they're going to bounce back. I picked them to win this game. I'll probably pick them to win this week as well.
Okay, very good. Next we have Ida, even their record at 1-1. Same thing, come from behind victory. Ida Blue Streaks 26, Lake Fenton 20, led by Owen Sampson, 85 yards rushing, 83 yards receiving.
Great win for Ida. They had to have it.
That's a good win for Ida.
They had to have it, and they got it. So,
yeah, they didn't want to fall to 0-2 there.
And going into the LCAA play where nobody's bad in the LCAA right now, nobody's bad.
Right.
No one has a poor team, so
that's a good
had to have this win, and Ida got it. And Coach Potter, that's what he does.
Yep. Okay, next was the Whiteford Bobcats 64, Stryker Ohio 12. Whiteford even their record at 1-1. Shea Ruddy threw for 106 yards, and Devin Shaw ran for 90 yards. This game was over early.
I made a comment on Twitter, and Coach Mensing saw it and replied about, I hope they don't schedule Stryker next year. And he said, they have a ton of respect for Stryker and his startup program and so on and so forth, which I get that. And if you're Stryker, you might want to play a team like Whiteford to see what you want your team to look like in the future. So that, in a sense, that can work out. But Coach Benson did say that they are working on a team next year to replace Stryker in Monroe County. And the only thing I can think of, the only team I could think of would be Dundee. Second week open, it's got to be LCAA.
Yeah.
Only thing I can think of would be Dundee.
That's a good point.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I would like to see that as well. That'd be a heck of a contest. So we'll see. But yeah, Bedford Stryker. It's not much of a contest at this point.
Right. Okay. All right. Next this is just crazy. Erie Mason improved to 2-0. They beat Britton Deerfield. You took Mason. I took Britton Deerfield.
Yeah, come on.
80.
I told you they're going to score 80.
80 to 42.
Dundee,
80.
Coach Boudry just could not let Dundee have
42.
He said 74. Watch this. We're getting 80.
Hey, Whiteford, you scored 64 this week. What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, right.
Because Dundee scored 74 and Erie Mason 80.
80.
Britton Deerfield 42.
It's a lot of points. They don't let off the gas.
Well, and it's not. There's an old saying. It's not the job of the coach to keep the score down. However, 80 to 42. It was a battle.
It was a battle. It was 50-something to 42.
I think it was 54-42, wasn't it? So
it was close, and then they just scored a few 3-4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and shut BD out probably in the fourth quarter. But it was a little bit back and forth, so to speak.
BD was a pretty solid team.
They're not bad.
Because I know who their coach is and what he does offensively. He does a lot of the same type of stuff, and I knew they'd put up some points. I just didn't think they would give up 80.
80.
Holy cow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just... Anyway. All right, let's move on to Summerfield. They improved to 1-1 with an 18-0 victory over Pittsford. I picked Pittsford in this one, and Summerfield proved me wrong. Devin Albane passed for 333 yards, which is a big night.
Yeah, when you count this in the season-saving column for Summerfield.
It really is. They lost to Pittsford last year, 10-0. So that was a really, really nice win for them. Impressive.
You go into 0-2, and you still have to play Whiteford, Clinton, Sand Creek. You're looking at a world of hurt. This game again, like a few other teams, puts them in that playoff consideration. With the some wins ahead, hopefully.
All right. Next game was SMCC 42, Airport 21. Falcons improved to 2-0. Airport falls to 1-1. Sam Cousineau and Alex Morgan combined for 259 yards on the ground. Jacob Pack, who is a big back, right? Tall guy.
Big, tall kid.
Runs hard. He rushed for 124 yards.
Yeah.
This was a game that the Jets were up 14-0 and had a lot of heads turning around the area when people saw that score.
It had my head turning. The Airport came out to play. I remember the game 2 years ago, Coach Duffy's first game at DeVar Field. And I expected the Jets that day, 2 years ago, to come out like they came out here. Flying around, excited to be out there, wanted to beat the SMCC so bad, and you saw it. And the Falcons were like, "Wow, holy cow!" And they were taken back a little bit, and it took them a good quarter and a half to wake up a little bit, and they finally did, and they matched Airport's intensity, I think, and
made some adjustments.
Yeah. Cousineau had enough, basically, and just took the game over, so to speak, from his running back spot after being moved to tight end. But yeah, Cousineau, Morgan, Burke-Moser.
So we would say that, even though the score was 42-21, good win for CC.
Yeah.
Not a bad loss for Airport at all.
Airport's good. Their quarterback, Blankenship, is good.
Yeah.
Pack is good. And they got some big old linemen. Mena, Lakatos, I don't know how to say his name. And there's another one.
I can't imagine Grodike was able to say that on the
Well,
air.
he did his best. He avoids those guys. Number 74.
Okay, very good.
But they are a good football team. And
and I thought that after the scrimmage, and I know I've said that a bunch. And then our last game from last week The Milam Big Reds improved to 2-0 with a 35-13 victory over the defending Huron League champs, Groseal. They fell to 0-2. The Big Reds jumped out to a 35-0 lead in this game. They had 370 yards total offense. They kind of cruised. Groseal, I believe, had 4 turnovers. You're not going to win many games like that.
No, that's how Groseal was so good last year. They took care of the football, and this year not so much. But, Milam's good. They're number 3 in our power rankings.
Yep.
Tristan Hines, the Pizzo kid.
No, Pizzo's with Groseal.
Pizzo's with Groseal.
Yes.
He's good too, though.
He is a good player.
They both have both have red on. But yeah, I don't know if did Brittany play. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I didn't hear.
On that. That's just something we're gonna keep an eye on every week. Just want to see that kid back. But yeah, Milam's great. They're good.
Okay, well that wraps up our games. We do want to let you know that on Tuesday morning, sometime, our Player of the Week nominees will be up on the blog, and then you can go ahead and vote on who do you think the Player of the Week should be for week 2. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. Gary, you got any parting thoughts before we shut this thing down, our episode 6 of the 2019 season?
I got nothing other than thanks for listening, thanks for reading, thanks for commenting. We appreciate all your viewership.
Take care, everybody. Have a great night.